We're in the wild now. I'm Bear Grylls. I've come to the wild lands of Carmel Valley. The sun is wicked hot right now. My main priority is to find water to keep my body functioning, my urinary system in particular.
The urinary system is an essential part of our body. Its main job is to eliminate the waste it produces and different types of toxins and drugs. It's very important for our body to maintain homeostasis, which is keeping the internal environment within our bodies stable. The urinary system is made of 4 different organs: the kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. The kidney's main job is to make the urine by filtering and diffusing the blood to get rid of excess materials. The ureters are essentially tubes that connect the kidneys to the next part of the urinary system, which is the urinary bladder. The bladder's main job is to store the urine until it can be excreted via the urethra.
I can't seem to find any water in this godforsaken place. I'm gonna have to drink my own piss. I can drink this urine because it's sterile and it's gone through an intense filtration process through the kidneys.
The kidneys is made of 3 main regions. These regions are the renal cortex, the renal medulla, and the renal pelvis. The kidneys are also protected by 2 outer coverings called the renal capsule and the adipose capsule. These help keep the kidney in place and helps protect it. The most important part of the kidney, though, is the nephron. The nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. It's responsible for the formation of urine. There are 2 main structures to the nephron, the glomerulus and the renal tubule. The glomerulus is responsible for the first part of urine formation process known as filtration. It's a specialized capillary bed with 2 different arterioles entering and exiting it. These are called the afferent and efferent arterioles respectively. The efferent has a much smaller diameter than the afferent because it helps maintain the high blood pressure inside the glomerulus. This high blood pressure is necessary because it helps the filtration of blood in the glomerulus. What happens is that water and other small solutes are forced through the capillary walls of the glomerulus and into the Bowman's capsule surrounding it. Larger particles, such as red blood cells, cannot pass through because of its larger size. This solution within the capsule is now called filtrate, as it has not completed the urine formation process, so it cannot be called urine. After the filtrate is collected in the glomerulus, it leaves via the renal tubule. After filtration is done, the next part of the process is reabsorption. Reabsorption happens mostly in the proximal convoluted tubule and is passive. Reabsorption is when some of the materials in the filtrate are reabsorbed back into the body, such as water, glucose, amino acids, and other ions. Although some reabsorption is passive, it is mostly active. This is because certain active transports are used to pass the materials from the tubules back into the bloodstream, specifically the peritubular capillaries. After the filtrate passes through the proximal convoluted tubule, it enters the loop of Henle. As the filtrate descends down, the loop of Henle water is reabsorbed into the body. As the filtrate ascends the loop of Henle, different salts like sodium chloride are absorbed into the body. The reason for this is because of the higher concentration of sodium chloride outside of the loop of Henle will help the water osmosize out of the loop in order to further preserve water. The final step in the urine formation process is secretion. This is essentially the reverse of reabsorption. This is when the body gets rid of any remaining waste and puts it into the filtrate. These wastes include hydrogen ions, potassium ions, and creatine. This process mostly occurs in the distal convoluted tubule. After the filtrate has gone through this entire process, it can finally earn the name urine and flows out into the collecting duct. From there, it travels to the ureters, which will flow to the bladder, which will flow down to the urethra, where it can be finally excreted.
It's so hot. I need to find water fast. Some wildlife out here. That means there must be indigenous people. Follow me closely here. You have to be careful. Looks like we found some tribal leaders here.
Legally.
Imron! We have to be very careful.
We've discussed the main functions of the urinary system, which is urine formation, but the urinary system is also incredibly important for maintaining homeostasis. This is done through a variety of hormones which control the composition of urine. For example, the antidiuretic hormone, or ADH, helps prevent excess water loss in the urine by increasing the reabsorption of water in the body. So, if the body is dehydrated, ADH will be released to help conserve water. The aldosterone hormone regulates the sodium ion reabsorption, which in turn also affects water reabsorption. There are special cells that monitor the water and sodium concentrations in the kidneys and hypothalamus. So right now, because I'm dehydrated, my body is releasing ADH and aldosterone to help preserve what water I have left in my body. Now, what's also important is how my kidneys can help regulate my blood pH between 7.35 and 7.45. My kidneys will also help maintain this by excreting different acidic or basic ions depending on where my current blood pH is. The other mechanism that helps maintain my blood pH is the blood buffer system. There are three main buffer systems in my body: the bicarbonate buffer system, the phosphate buffer system, and the protein buffer system. The bicarbonate buffer system works by producing bicarbonate ions when the blood pH is low. These ions will then react with the strong acids in the blood to help maintain a higher blood pH. The bicarbonate buffer system will also create carbonate ions when the blood pH is too high. The carbonate ions will react with the strong bases in the blood to create weak bases and water. This will essentially lower the blood pH to a safer level.
I finally found a water source. Oh, come here, come here. Look at this magnificent beauty. Bloody hell. These people need serious medical attention here and now. Luckily for them, I'm a professional urine drinker. Sir, please. What seems to be the problem?
I don't know. I've just been extremely hungry and thirsty lately.
Well, I have my suspicions. But just to be sure, I'm gonna need a sample of your urine.
My what?
Your urine.
Okay.
This urine is extremely sweet in taste, which can only mean bad news. You most likely have diabetes mellitus, which means your body's not producing enough insulin and you cannot absorb enough glucose.
Oh no. What can I do?
You need to get to a hospital right away and get to an insulin pump.
But we're in the wild.
That's not my problem. Next. What's your problem?
I seem to be extremely thirsty, and my eyes and my ankles are swelling up recently.
That doesn't tell me anything specific.
Would you like to drink my pee, sir?
Gladly.
Okay. I've also been gaining lots of weight recently, even though I eat berries all day.
Protein. It's likely you have nephrotic syndrome. Your high blood pressure is causing your kidneys to become damaged and you're excreting too much protein in your urine.
What do I do, Mr. Gross?
You need medication to control your high blood pressure.
Where am I supposed to get medication?
Moving right along.
Hello, I'm a father in this village and I don't wish to become ill. Will you check my urine for me as well?
Why, of course. It's very salty, which means you most likely have hyponatremia. You need to stay away from salty foods and drink plenty of water. Be sure to balance your salt and water, as you may get hyponatremia, which is reduced sodium levels in your bloodstream. Another substance you need to look out for is potassium, as both hyperkalemia and hypokalemia can cause cardiac arrest. Don't go crazy, go bananas.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll make sure my kids listen to your advice as well.
Is there anybody else with urine problems?
Me, I have enormous pain coming down from where I urinate. It feels as if I'm giving birth even though I'm a male.
Let me see what I can do.
pain signifies that something is moving its way through your urethra. Most likely, you're currently having a kidney stone pass through your urethra, most likely due to a diet consisting of low intake of water and a high intake in leafy green vegetables that have oxalic acid. The best way to get over it is either to break up the stone, which we can't do here, or let it pass, which will cause horrendous pain to you. How are you even standing up right now?
Well, I actually just took a painkiller, so I'm fine. Thank you so much for helping our people. How can we ever repay you?
I need to get a signal out to the rescuers. I need something to burn. That's alright. I need to get going. We need to go. Go! Getting out of here! Go! This is how we survive in the wild.
Breaking news, the fire that Bear Grylls accidentally started burned down the whole village, so the villagers had to relocate to another area. Villager 3, Karan died.
I've also been gaining lots of weight recently, even though we... I've also been gaining lots of weight recently, even though we very...
Protein. I'm gonna have to drink my own piss. Just as I... Here and now. I'm gonna have to drink that. Its way through your urethra. Most likely. Wait, no, come back!